This is a reading of Brenda's blog titled, "That Part of Your Earth Life is Over." Dear ones, most of you are afraid of the impending doom images that play in your mind. If this happens, surely that more terrible thing will happen. Yet, the next day you likely have a different image tickling your mind and imploding your being with fear. Those fear factors are merely carryovers from your 3D doom and gloom that played out in 3D life after 3D life. 3D memories not only coming to the forefront for clearing, but memories fighting to remain part of your being. You did such an amazing job of fitting within the 3D boxes of fear that were your 3D lives that you're having difficulties discarding those boxes. What you have not yet accepted, despite your inner knowingness, is that you are in a different world. It is as if after being hungry in your childhood, you continue to worry you will not have enough food despite inheriting millions of dollars. This is a new world and a new day. Claim yourself, as well as your inner and outer riches. You might be fearful, but those fear pieces will drop away if you allow them. Stop holding on to fear. Fear that is merely the ghost of your 3D past. Granted, not everyone is allowing themselves to move into this new world. Such is neither here nor there, for you are a forerunner. You helped create this new world. Now allow yourself to live in it. No harm will come to you unless you want it to. You are free and safe. You are a new being in a new world. You might not feel a need to do or be anything now or forever, other than laying in a hammock reading a book. That is not sinful or wrong. It is merely you. Know that whatever feels right in your heart is your role. No longer do shoulds and fear rule your life as has been true for eons. And no longer are you in competition with anyone. You are you. The most confusing pieces for you now are your interactions with others who live in the 3D realm of shoulds and have-tos. Even though the number of 3D inhabitants is reduced daily, you forerunners have lived in 3D most of your current life. You so easily slip into your fear or even anger based on fears that this or that will happen because it has been so for eons. The difference now is if you do slip into 3D, your discomfort will force you out of that box almost immediately. When you first initiated your transition, it was much easier to be of 3D than was true of the evolving elements of new you. You had to work to create space for your new you elements. Now that new you is fully formed, you question your power and readiness to accept that power. You feel like you must have at least one more hoop to jump through before you can be new you. You are complete. You are whole. Even though you will mature within your new being, you have all the elements necessary to follow your heart instead of your fearful mind. Perhaps it will help you better understand that last thought if you imagine initiating your transition as a single cell. During this evolutionary process, you became an embryo, and finally, a fully formed infant recently birthed. That recently birthed infant is new you adjusting to your new life and skill set. You are discovering your new skills in a new world, and as you do so, you discount those 3D skills and interests that no longer serve you. The you of yesterday. This is your new dawn. Perhaps you feel silly, unworthy, or afraid of your new life. for it does not yet resonate as your 3D life filled with shoulds, have-tos, and much fear of, what if this happens? Your new world is about, when should I create this or experience that, without guilt or fear of repercussions? It is time to acknowledge to yourself and the world that you are not who you were. And a large part of that acknowledgement is the word no. No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not afraid that will happen. No, my life is no longer designed to serve you. It is time to add a new yes. Yes, all is wonderfully well in my world because I'm in control of what I want to experience. Quiet, party time, contentment, activity, or nothing. There are no social rules or dictates from others that will satisfy you in your new world. This is what I want, and I will focus on that need or want until it materializes. Just as an infant learns to cry when it is hungry or needs a diaper change, until it gathers enough skills to feed and clothe itself. The difference is new you does not require years or necessarily even months to mature. You are new you in all your glory. It's time for you to accept that fact, that truth. Just as a baby cannot return to the womb no matter how much they want to, you cannot return to 3D without an immediate physical or emotional reminder that you are no longer of 3D. You have been birthed into new you with all the wonderful peace, contentment, and creativity that entails. You merely need to accept that fact, as well as physical or emotional discomfort if you try to solve issues with your mind instead of your heart. Allow yourself to grow. Negate those thoughts that make you uncomfortable or fearful. That part of your earth life is over. So be it. Amen. Hi, this is Joe. There was one particular line in this message that resonated with me deeply, mainly because for the most part over the last few years I've been hearing and even listening to people who, well, they're on their mission. They're definitely way showers for an audience who is aligned with them in what their mission is all about. Their mission being something that they stepped into, recognizing that this world that we're in, this chaos that we're experiencing, this turmoil that has been fomented through media, through various other individuals who have a voice to the masses, if you will. And one of the key messages is that you need to speak out. You need to take a stand. And here I have been all along delivering messages that resonated with me, and they didn't align with that, standing up and speaking out. And yet by the same token, I also felt that while it was something that was being called for, it was being called for by individuals who, for them, that was what their heart was telling them. They needed to stand up. They needed to speak out. And many of the people they were speaking to would resonate with that, yes. Did that mean everybody did? No, not likely. And then there was also a matter of saying, look, if you remain silent, you're basically helping to promote this agenda that's being played out. That one really, really was a tough one to sit with. Because on the one hand, while an individual, like myself for example, isn't necessarily willing to stand up and to speak out, gather a group of people and to get everyone worked up and to fire them up and then to do what? And then to do what? No, my preference was instead to help people to find this place within themselves where they gathered strength, where their inner wisdom was something that drew them, that moved them, that where they could listen to someone telling them, do this, do that, no matter who that someone was. And they could decide for themselves what they chose to do, when they chose to do it, and how they chose to do it, if at all. So anyway, one of the other lines was, the most confusing pieces for you now are your interactions with others who live in the 3D realm of shoulds and have-tos. That spoke directly to what I was referring to, what I've been responding to, but doing so in a way that suited me. And perhaps you might be an individual who has stepped up, who has spoken out, who has taken a stand, who has made themselves known, etc. And what have you been doing? You've been following your heart, have you not? This is something that really, really and truly underscores something that's been ever present for each of us, whether we acknowledge it or not. Do what you feel in your heart to do. Thanks for listening.